your clutch pedals sound like this. Oh, that's annoying. Okay, well this job is going to start with taking off this panel. There you go. Highly recommend you get yourself a set of trim tools to get your trims off if you haven't got one. I think this hiker set was from Screwfix and it cost about 15 quid, tenner, something like that. Beautiful. Alright, next we're going to take off this bottom panel. I don't think there's any screws in that. Now we're taking that one screw out, so you can just pull that down. And it pops off. Mine's got this little module on the back. Because I'm going to take the seat off, obviously it's got the airbag stuff in it, I'm probably just going to disconnect the battery. There's a few other kind of electrical connections I think that I'm going to have to move while I'm under there, so might as well. But I think for this job I'm going to have to take the seat out, so we're going to try and take the seat out. This is why trim removal tools are pretty useful. Out. Nice. Oh, a nugget. Can't even use it anymore. Try and get this next one off. No idea how it comes off. Oh. Easy, mate. Ah, that's out. Yeah, just lift it up. Alright, just display them out to get that off. Slide the seat back. Yeah. It might seem like a pain in the ass to take the whole chair out, but to be honest with you, so little space to work in there. It's just going to get in the way. Okay, they are out. There you go. So this cable comes up from under the carpet. There's two connections there, and there's two connections there. Oh, I'm making hella money out of this job. Check this out. Oh, rich. Remove the seat. It's out of the way. I'm going to take this off. I believe that's the cruise control. It's the cruise control thing. Switch. So what I'm going to do is there's a bunch of electrical connections here. I'm just going to take them off and push them out of the way a little bit if I can, so I can get access to it. Don't forget, when you take that pipe off the top, it's going to leak clutch fluid. So the best thing to do is to suck the fluid out of the reservoir from the engine bay. Yeah, if you didn't know where the clutch fluid reservoir was, it's here. That's your brake, it's your clutch. Take the top off, remove the little rubber thing. I should probably be wearing gloves at this point, because just going to put a bit of this stuff underneath, catch the drips. Suck out all that old skanky fluid. Just going to clean out the crap out of the bottom of there. Yeah, grim. Looks a bit better. Not perfect, but better. So, change of plan. I'm unplugging these. Hopefully I don't end up with a nightmare electrical problem. You never know, I might do. Alright guys, I managed to disconnect all those electrical connections. they all fit on this little metal bracket here. And just to give myself some more space, there's a 10mm screw. I'm hoping this will just let me take this off now. Get off. 10mm screw. This gives me a bit more space up there to play with. Right, next job is to disconnect this. Squeezing that little tab, slide it out. Lovely. Goes into the state of that. You can see where I've had some misguided attempts at trying to get some lubricant up there. Looks a mess. Alright, I've just removed the cruise control thing from there. Alrighty, so where did we get to? I've taken off this. I'm thinking, you know, I might have to take off the whole pedal box to do this job. The next job's going to be to disconnect the hydraulic line, which is going to be difficult to see because of the light, but I'll try and light it if I can. So you can see that there's a hydraulic line. It's probably not going to focus, but you can see that. Don't, whatever you do, use a regular spanner on that. Make sure you use a proper brake nut flare spanner. It's a 10mm. Okay, it probably goes without saying, as I said earlier on, this is the hydraulic line, so there will be fluid in it. I don't know how much. I did remove as much as I could from the cylinder in the engine bay earlier. We're going to try and take that off. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to film this, but essentially all I'm doing is disconnecting that fitting. You can see, I'm trying to point to it, but you can see it anyways. So it's that on there. Alright, I'll let you know how I get on. I removed the metal clip that all of these electrical cables connected to, and I've pushed them out of the way, give myself as much possible space as I could. You can see from the wet tissue I've removed the hydraulic hose. What there also is, which you might not realise, I've got like my little inspection mirror here. If you look there, I don't know if you can see that very well. I'll try and get a better angle. I don't know if you can see it. There's a clip and a little fitting on the back of the master cylinder there, so I've got to get that off. I think the easiest way to get that off now is to loosen the pedal, the whole pedal box, by taking off. So I'm going to undo this bolt here. There's another one on the other side, you can't see it, and there's some at the top. So I'm going to take them off and see if that gives me enough space. Oh yeah, an automatic. Nah. There she is. So I had to do a bit of faffing to get it out. It didn't come out like super easy. So the hose I was trying to show earlier, hopefully you can see that. And then obviously I took the 4 bolts out that secure, sorry, the 4 nuts that secure the clutch pedal, which are like here. You can see them around there. Took them all out, and then you have to kind of like cut this little electrical cable, just this little bracket for it. So I'll just cable tie them back on. I'm not too fussed about breaking them. So here's the master cylinder off the car. I see an awful lot wrong with it again. It says it's Nissin, so I guess that's the same. At the bottom it's connected to your pedal via this little pin and this R-clip. It's easy to kind of take that off. So what I did was I loosened this in the car to give me more space, and once I can move that around, I was able to take the 2 bolts, these 2 here, out. They sit like that. So I took them out. Once they were out, I had enough space to get to the clip to take this hose off here. So let's go have a quick look at this and see if we can see if it squeaks. You can see where I've sprayed loads of grease on this before to try and stop it. doesn't stop it. You can, by all means, spray lithium grease or white grease, whatever you want, all over your clutch pedal. I don't like doing it for a couple of reasons. It's just a sticking plaster fix. It's not like a proper fix. Which, if you're happy with that, then go ahead. The other thing is you're spraying grease all around your clutch pedal, which is not ideal, and your brake pedal. Of course, you can wipe it all down afterwards. But, you know, I'd rather not just, you know, bodge it. I'd rather do it properly. No noise. Not a single noise. Alright guys, well, I've been cleaning down the clutch pedal assembly just to get all the excess grease off. Obviously you don't want all that grease all over it. But something I've noticed, which is making me doubt now, that the master cylinder is actually the problem, even though we've got it off. So on this, you can see there's a spring here at the bottom, and then on this side where the spring pivots, there's like a plastic, let's bring that into shot somewhere, there's a little plastic kind of like washer, I suppose, or something for it to run in. You can see the end of the spring poking out there. On this side it's not there. I'm assuming it's kind of worn away, and which means you've got metal on metal contact, and that and the pressure I think will probably could be the cause of the squeak. I don't know for certain if that's the case. I've got the over here, I've got the original master cylinder in the vise, and just move that up a bit. Doesn't really matter what I do with this, I can't make it squeak. Even at weird angles, fast. Usually it's under slow, so if you press the pedal in and slowly release the pedal, nothing, it's smooth. I can't see anything wrong with this. It actually looks okay. However, like I said a minute ago, this missing piece of plastic, it's like a nylon. You can see it kind of inside where you've got metal on metal pieces. Probably see it better from the back. So you can see here where the hinge pivots, there's a piece of nylon or PTFE or whatever it's made out of in there. And that's just to aid smooth operation. Also, because of this, the pedal wobbles with this missing. I haven't tried this in the vise yet, so we'll give it a try. See if I can make it squeak. I don't know what the best way to clamp that is. Right, listen to that. That did it. Bearing in mind, master cylinder's not in there now, because it's here. I'm just going to slowly press the clutch like you would do if you were in the car. And back. Oh man, it definitely. The back of that spring, you can see there's a witness mark. If I zoom in there a little bit, this darker patch, you might see it with a torch, I guess. There's like a shiny patch on the back of here where the back of that spring has been rubbing on this metal on metal. It just causes squeaking. I can't get it to do it now, but I'm sure that's the problem. The thing is, obviously I've been pushing grease around trying to wipe it up. I've probably inadvertently lubricated it. But yeah, I would bet there's nothing wrong with that master cylinder, which is annoying because that cost me 90 quid. But I might change it anyway, you know, why not? But yeah, that master cylinder is probably fine, and it's this clutch pedal. I can see a massive wetness mark there now. You can see, I'll take it off the stand, fuck it. So you see that shiny metal there? That spring has been rubbing on it. There's like a top hat. The plastic nylon, well, the nylon bit that goes in there is like a top hat. So on this inside it would have had something to push against, and that spring there would actually be pushed away, like this way, off the this part of the clutch pedal. So that's what the squeak is. It's not the master cylinder, in my opinion, but we'll change both. That's just flown out. Where's that come from? Oh, that's come off the other side, so yeah. Always a bit wary with springs because you never know if it's going to fly up and hit you in the face. Nobody wants that. Ain't nobody got time for a spring in the face. That's why I'm using that. See, this one's broken as well. I imagine this is the same fate the last one had. So what do? You don't want to buy a new pedal. You look online, Lings, Cox, Tegua, all of these normal places, they don't sell these little bushings that I'm aware of. Well, what I've decided to do is I just looked online for a plastic supplier, and I found myself some nylon. So I bought myself 50 centimeters, 500 millimeters of 14 millimeter diameter nylon, because that's the size that I need to basically file down to make the piece I need. Cool thing is, obviously I've still got this much left over. That actually costs just under £2, and shipping was like a £5. Yeah, so instead of just spraying your car with lithium grease or PTFE grease, get some of this, make a little bushing, and you never have to do it again, hopefully. Alright, I'm going to try and cut this down. The problem is I'm going to damage it slightly, so I'm just going to try and wrap it in this to try and not completely ruin the material, because if I cock up I'm going to need some more. perfectly central, but I knew it wouldn't be. Alright, first test fit. And it's not far off, it might go with a bit of force. Okay, yeah, it's not perfect, but what you gonna do? You can see I've left that deliberately thicker, just to give the spring a bit more to go on. Hopefully I can still get everything in there, and hopefully the spring isn't too squashed. Alright, so here's my new one made. It's worked pretty well so far. Had a bit of a struggle to get the second one in, had to cut it down a bit more. So you can see it's in, and the other one's in. They're a lot thicker than the original, and this is, you can see the original here, and that's the thickness difference. My only concern is the spring's going to catch on it, so that's the next thing I need to test. Put the spring in and make sure it doesn't get caught up, because these are too thick. If they're too thick, then obviously I'm going to have to get them out again and file them down. But if it doesn't, I'm going to leave it with a thicker surface, so it'll hopefully last a bit longer. Okay, one of the other little bits you get in the box with the new master cylinder is a little bit of grease. So I'll use that in there. I'm just going to squirt it in there, I think. It's fixed. Right, I'm going to install it back in now. I'm not going to film it. It's basically the reverse of how I took it out. What I will say is I'm going to install the new master cylinder, because I've got it. I might as well replace it. So I'm going to chuck that in the car now. Once that's in the car, I can bleed everything, and we can see if the clutch still squeaks. So hopefully it doesn't. Well, yeah, the other thing with the master cylinder, when it goes back in, I'm going to put the master cylinder in first, put the flexible tube on which goes to the cylinder under the car end of the bonnet, because that's the most difficult bit. So get that in, and then I'm going to slide it behind this and then bolt it all up. That's the plan anyway. Alright, that's the clutch pedal all back in with my new bushings. Top off your clutch reservoir. Help me get to the clutch slave cylinder, which sits on top of the clutch housing. I'm probably going to take the induction kit off, so I'm going to do that now. Fill that up and then start pumping the pedal. What you need to do is locate your slave cylinder bleed nipple. So on my car I've got the HKS induction kit. Trying to get to the bleed nipple from underneath is difficult. Trying to get to it from the top is very difficult as well. But if you can see down there, it's hard to show you. Can you see that brake line there? Not brake line, that clutch line. That goes to your slow cylinder. So that line there goes to your slow cylinder. On the end of that, which I can't get in on the camera, is an 8mm bleed nipple. So get someone to pump the pedal while you bleed it, same as you bleed brake. So push it down with the bleed nipple open, with it at the bottom, shut the bleed nipple, let the pedal come back up, carry on, so on and so forth. Obviously I had to take my induction kit off to get to that, because it sits right down there. It's a pain in the arse to get to, like everything else. So I've just bled it. We've got a pedal, which is good. I need to put the electrical connectors back in. You can see. Got a nice pedal there. Right. So I'm going to put the electrical connectors back in. I'm not going to film it, but once that's done, seat back in, put the battery back on, start her up. Cool, so it's all done. Really pleased with it. It stopped squeaking much better than it was. Not only that, the clutch pedal now feels really smooth and kind of like a new clutch pedal should, even though it's not a new clutch pedal or a new clutch, it's just a new master cylinder and a couple of nylon bushings. It's made a night and day difference. In fact, I'm more excited about this than I am about my other modification I've just done as well, which I'll be posting shortly. Spoiler alert, it's just a big brake kit. So I've put that on as well, so I'm not going too mad at the moment. So these are my thoughts about fixing it. So if you're going to sell the car and you're not interested in kind of like fixing the problem, then you can just spray it with lithium grease or whatever you want to use to kind of get the squeak to go away. Obviously that'll work. If you're keeping the car like me or you're going to daily it, that squeak fucking does your head in, and I had to get rid of it. So I had to fix it, whether that was with a new clutch pedal or however it was getting fixed. So there you go. Yeah, if you kind of just want to keep spraying grease on it, you can do that. It's probably like £8 for a can of grease. It probably lasts you like fucking ages, to be fair. But once you bought, I don't know, 10 of those, like £7 or £8 a pop, you're nearly at the price of a new master cylinder. And so why do I think it was squeaking? Well, actually now I've looked at it, I think the actual problem could have been two things. Could have just been the spring, but I think what actually happened was the little nylon bushing wore away, fell out, and what that meant was that the master cylinder was then not being pushed kind of straight, and so it was having like more wear and tear on the master cylinder. So that could have made the master cylinder prematurely fail or prematurely kind of like start squeaking, maybe as a result of that bushing being missing. So if you have an FN2 or on Civic Mark 8 or whatever it is, have a look at your clutch pedal, make sure those bushings are still there. If you've got one missing but you don't have a squeak, then I'd recommend that you like replace one of those bushings. I might consider finding out if I can get these made. If I do get them made and people want them, then maybe I can sort out some kind of I don't know, some kind of deal where I just post them out. Obviously you can make them yourself like I did in the video. £2 for a piece of nylon, cut it and shape it to whatever size fits your clutch pedal. Really happy with it, like super happy with it. I can't tell you how good it is. Like it's just night and day difference. So yeah, worth doing. Fix your squeaky clutch pedal. Don't be wasting your time with grease. Change your master cylinder if you need to. It's a tricky job, but it's not like impossible. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope it helped. If it did, please leave a like or a comment. I'd really appreciate that. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.